Three man, there we go. Hey guys, welcome to our review of My Hero Academia episode 48. I'm your host, Makotoa, for the first time in forever. And with me today we have...
Cinder Blaze.
Strange words.
Yeah, so, this was a crazy episode. I don't even know where... Well, I mean, we could just start with, what happened at the very start of the episode, which, I mean...
Yeah, like it was kind of like wrapping up what happened from like last week's episode. We know that the Nomus are just kind of like everywhere now, and I'm really glad that we just glossed over them because it was just fodder. Nobody actually cares about seeing them getting like, demolished in waves or whatnot. Like even with the end of war, we didn't really get any scenes of him just like destroying Nomus, even though that would be somewhat entertaining. We're just like, we don't got time for that. We got to deal with All for One and his shenanigans over by where Deku and them are. And
I'm sorry, who's End of War? Who's End of War? You mean Endeavor?
Anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh,
we have exactly what happened over at the other place, which was the best Genus saving the day, at least everyone else around him. And I thought he was dead, and then he was alive, and then he tried to fight, and then I think he's dead. Ouch.
Yeah, like you can have the best genes in the world, and I'm not sure that would be appropriate in the power scaling for that particular.
I will not say whether or not anyone who was hurt in any way, shape, or form survived this arc. So
you know what?
Gonna throw that out there.
You know what? Never mind. I think he's alive because he can use his gene clothes to stitch up his wounds. That's why I think he's alive, actually, now that I think about it. Makes sense,
honestly,
right?
in any shonen, they're not dead unless we have a death scene. And, like, they're not, like, they have to be decapitated or, like, we have to show that they're actually dead, not, like, you just assume they're dead because of the trauma they actually were inflicted. That just doesn't happen. So, like, I expect him to kind of stick around for a little bit longer. I'm not sure if he can really do anything relevant in, when it comes to, like, All for One, but, like, maybe we'll see him, because, like, his power is still, like, really versatile, so, like,
yeah,
I don't know, he'll stick around, but, jeez, like, we're gonna have to rely on Deku, maybe Todoroki, Bakugo, some people like that who can actually fight that guy, because, holy crap, he blew, like, all four of them, like, instantly. Those are top-rated heroes. So,
yeah.
And, like, All Might, number one hero, just comes out of, like, the sky, and he couldn't even, like, budge him. Like, he stopped him with his fist.
Oh my gosh. I love this banter between them. Like, when he's like, it must be rough having to protect all of these people. And All Might just comes back and says, you just toy with people all the time, and it's... Oh, I loved All Might's rage in this episode. That was real good.
Yeah, like, it's a lot like the stereotypical banter between, like, villains and heroes, like, haha, so powerful, why don't you, like, join the dark side or something like that, It's a lot easier that way. And, like, this guy's just, like, really pissed off because he's just like, everyone's just trying to live their damn lives, and you're just coming over here and messing everything up. And I'm like, yeah, like, screw this dude, to mess him up.
Yeah. And then there's that, like, whole sort of father-son, sequence that they got going on with All for One and Face Hand Dude.
Shigaraki Tomura.
Shigaraki,
yeah.
It's like, try as many times as you need, son.
Yeah. I felt like for a lot of that scene, it was kind of like it felt like it took a bit too long. Where you're just like, okay, let me showcase my forceful quirk thing, and I'm like, okay, now this has to activate in this particular way because I needed to go according to my so and so plan that we don't really know about, but he's just trying to get them like off the battlefield.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of felt like come on, like why are they sticking around for so long? Like why is it taking so long? But I don't know. What do you feel about like just I don't know. I didn't like the forceful quirk activation for what was it? Who has a warp gate? You know,
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
through.
Yeah, it's like where how do you know where it's supposed to go?
Well,
no, I
here's
just feel like it just added too many like ramifications. Like he's like, oh, well, this guy has like the better teleportation powers, you know. So I gotta make sure that I'm not completely outclassing everyone. So like that's what it kind of felt for me. Just like to give some justification to the League of Villains, you know.
Since he's got two warp abilities.
Yeah,
Kurogiri, that's what it was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kurogiri. He's like, oh, well, I need to force his quirk activation, even though I have like a somewhat stronger warp ability. It's limited in its like capacities, so
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
limited in its range.
But like
It's
just him
it's
explaining the
extremely limited.
stipulations, which is kind of like,
Oh, okay.
well,
Yeah.
you could just do without it and just kind of warp them somewhere else.
That
you
was
know?
obviously for the audience then. So we could understand what the heck is going on and try
Well,
and
I think the
justify
main
it, yeah.
I think the main justification is just that he wants your Toru to have another chance to do it over again, so he can't exactly steal the quirk from all his minions.
Yeah,
Because
especially that one, because I feel like,
that's that's like the second command basically, so you can't really do that. And I don't know what will happen if a freaking guy like him had his quirk stolen, because he's one of the weird ones where it affects their body massively, sort of like the beast
Oh.
people and the black hole guy or girl, whatever.
Oh.
Yeah.
So taking his quirk might end up very poorly.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Also, I was kind of concerned about, not concerned about it. I was amused by the fact that Dabi and Kurogiri were knocked out at the beginning of this whole scene, because if those guys were actually like conscious, you know, those are like the only two like long range users that they had left from that initial fight. So, you know,
Yeah.
they just had to like freaking stare at like Deku kind of just scoop up Bakugo, or not scoop up Bakugo, he kind of like launched up and kind of caught a ride with them.
That was great. Oh my gosh, that was such a great moment.
Yeah. I was really surprised with Deku like actually managing to find a way to not fight. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
given the situation that they were in, I felt like there was like even enough numbers that they could probably just fight them head on. Just probably like do like a Toku transition, just take it like a couple feet away from All Might and All for One. But like just judging by like All Might's kind of fatigue, because he was coughing up blood even in his like, you know, huge bulked up form. Like, oh,
Oh.
this isn't gonna last that long.
Yeah.
They gotta like they can't afford to have a fight because I'll just take too long.
Oh man. I don't know. Like this episode had a lot happening in the realm of like combat, but not a lot ended up.
Essentially, there are three things happened. Frickin' the kid saved Bakugo. All Might started fighting One for All, and they got some. There were some information dumps here and there.
Yeah, I feel like the big one at the end was I think he kind of like name dropped the last user of One for All,
Oh yeah.
and I feel like she's related to one of the villains. Like I'm not sure if she is directly related to All for One, just because I feel like they probably fought each other in the past. Like probably there's like a relation that
Yeah.
way. Like when All Might like punched his face in, I thought for a second that it was some like Orochimaru kind of
Oh
bullshit,
frick, I
where he was
thought
just
yeah.
like where like using her body as
Oh
like the
no, I
little
thought so too.
substitute that was fighting, but
Oh,
like I couldn't tell what was behind that mask. Is it just like it looked like a chin? Like was
I
that
don't-
was there
it
actually
just-
a face behind there?
There was nothing. Cause in the preview, like he's standing up and it's just this like impounded like flesh blob. Because you know the punch left an imprint. I don't know what it is. It's just there. and I guess we'll just find out. This doesn't
Is he
make
like one of the thumb people from like
yeah.
Spy Kids? Such as face. Wait, Jordan, what's the deal with his face?
We can't.
Uh,
That's probably spoils.
that's
Yeah, that's
spoilers.
major spoilers.
It actually gets touched on later.
No, but like what actually,
I thought it was
like just
touched on.
physically what's there? Like I couldn't like actually see. Is it just nothing?
It's just a,
It's basically just mass flesh.
yeah. That's what I thought. That's what I
Oh,
thought.
It's real weird.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
But like I definitely feel like the past user of One for All definitely has something to do with the hand villain dude, because like there was a reason All for One went after that dude in the first place. So he has to be related to the One for All users in some capacity.
Who
So
knows? That's interesting speculation, but I have no idea. Like, there's too many different directions it could go. I'm glad that Bakugo actually like decided to join the Sky High Club. You know, I'm glad that he didn't just try and stick it out. And I think Midoriya was spot on with his decision to make.
yeah, like although I'm pretty sure like Bakugo would have gone if anyone said it. Like he was in that type of situation where I feel like even his ego would kind of be subdued a bit, and he would just
He was
go
getting
regardless.
pissed because because All Might couldn't fight at his full strength because he was there. So
Yeah.
I believe that it could have been anybody, but
No, okay. It couldn't have been Deku.
anybody but Deku, really.
Anybody but Deku.
Yeah. I can
Really,
see
what
that.
about Ida and
He would have begrudgingly done it for Ida, and then
Todoroki?
Todoroki, he would. Todoroki's a maybe. Todoroki's a maybe.
I feel like even for Deku, I mean,
Nah, for Deku.
I'm starting to
Deku-
lean
feel
on
like-
the side that like he probably would hesitate at the very least.
yeah, he probably like missed this opportunity because it takes
Yeah.
like a couple seconds before he's just out of reach.
Yeah.
And like speaking of which, I was surprised that in like a fight with All Might and All for One, in the episode, the scene that got like the most like animation budget, I feel, was that scene with like Bakugo just flying towards Deku and crew.
Ooh, that was
just
good. And that hand, that grip, that how did it go? Like I can't do it with my two hands. It doesn't work. But that was
Yeah.
super well animated too.
yeah, but like that was the scene that they chose to do that for. It just kind of felt like a little weird, but I don't care because Bakugo is probably one of my favorite characters. So whatever, just it was nice to see. What do you
was.
guys think is gonna happen next week? I mean, Jordan probably knows, but
I know
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what's gonna happen next week.
Yeah, Jordan does. Well, we saw in the preview that this dude gets back up, so I imagine that they're going to continue their fight. But, I mean, in my opinion, I think this is going to be All Might's last hurrah. Like, I think he could, after this, he might not be able to transform ever again. And that's, the biggest flaw with that is that people are going to find out or think he's dead because he doesn't want to show himself. And then that hero of peace type, like, I think the villain is going to die. It feels set up that he might actually die. I don't know.
I feel like he's way too overpowered to die.
Think so?
Yeah. Or maybe he's too overpowered and he has to die, and we just have.
That's what I'm thinking, that like he's passed his power on already. Sort of like All Might has already passed his power on to Deku, and that he's passed it on to Face Hugger Dude. And because I think that this era of those two, All Might and One for All, I think that era is supposed to be ending, and that Deku and this other dude are supposed to really be taking the mantle here. But maybe it's this fight, maybe they have one more scuffle, but I can't imagine how much more All Might can handle. Like, someone has to take this dude out because Deku's not ready. Like, who else is going to be able to take this guy out? Right?
I feel like All Might kind of secret will be blown essentially, because everyone's kind of like gonna see him in that weakened form. Maybe there'll be some consequences to that.
Yeah,
But
and that's...
like I feel like the villain can't die yet because we haven't seen him go full nuts. And after we see that, then it gives permission for Tomura to go like even beyond that. So, you know, like I feel like in due time we'll get that stuff. But I'm not sure where they're gonna take the story afterwards. Because if we fight All for One like right after this, like what are you gonna follow that up with? Then you just have Tomura left to actually like, you know, increase the scale of the story. So I feel like there's gonna be some sort of cop out and maybe some ramifications that leads like some other villain organization to kind of like step up and create some issues. But yeah,
so well, I mean, yeah, it has to be some point. There, All Might and All for One, or yeah, All for One seems to be trying to pass the buck off to his kid, his adopted child, and he's
he's too powerful. Like if he's done, then Tomura is like our final villain because I feel like he's the only person in this universe that can actually be stronger than what he was. And if we just kind of just
well, this is
there
for
needs
us,
to be like a
this
appropriate
is for
scaling.
Us anime viewers only right now. So if you've already read the manga, then you probably already know the answers to this. But
Yeah,
then why are you speculating with us? Just
why are you
Why even watching this? I mean, keep watching, but you know.
Right, but I don't know. I think it's going to be an interesting next episode. That's for sure. This one was really good too. Wow.
Yeah, pretty good.
Let's wrap it up. Any final thoughts, you guys?
No. Finish this now.
Finish us. Same with you, Jordan?
Yep, I could say so. Looks like, speculation. Can't say
Speculation,
anything.
all right. Okay, well, thanks for watching, guys. If you liked what you watched, give us a like, comment. If you want to let us know what you think, maybe some theories, as long as it's not spoilers, please. Please don't spoil us. And, I don't know. Gosh, this is hard, Alex. I do not envy your job.
See ya.
Yeah, see ya. See you next week. What's the juice thing? Juice it.
Keep it juicy. Jordan, say bye.
No.
All right.
And outro.
That works. Yeah, I mean,
episode of the show.
Yeah, but I feel like the other episodes were like, this is a good episode, but it wasn't